What is up, guys? Viper for Life here, and we are driving the Ferrari 575M because I don't know how to actually pronounce the full name. Anyway, so I have driven this before, but sadly the film corrupted. So yeah, I'm having to do this again, and sorry. I'm used to Horizon 2, so changing my camera view isn't the same. It's kind of it's a little bit confusing at times. Now, what do I think of the car? Well, I have driven this before, so handles really good. It's kind of understeered at times, and it feels a bit heavy, but frankly, it is a really good car. Really fast, really good handling. Brakes are pretty good. They don't give you much confidence, but you do know that you're stopping. Okay, so some people would say, oh, this is a GT car, so it's not made for the track. Well, here's the thing. Now, I also talked about this in that other video, but the film corrupted as well. So yeah, you're probably not gonna know what I mean by this, but yeah, let's get into it. It's not a GT car. It really isn't. Now, some people would think, oh well, it has to be. It's the spiritual successor of the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta. My thing is, I don't even think that's a GT car. I mean, it's not the most comfortable Ferrari there's been. Not saying all Ferraris are comfortable, but still. I just don't see that as a GT car. I see it as a supercar. Now this would seem like a GT car, but it just can't, it's not. And it's partially down to the way it drives, but it's all down to its name. Ferrari. Think about what that means for a second, and mess. Ah, mess! Ah, no! Oh, dear. But anyway, think about what that means for a minute. Ferrari. When you think about Ferrari, you don't think about GT cars. You think fast, exciting supercars and sports cars. And that's the problem. Car guys can say all they want, or even the brand itself can say that what they've made is a GT car. And only, car guys like us will understand that, it is. But because of Ferrari's public image, because of its brand image even if they make a GT car, it's never going to be seen that way. It's always going to be seen as, another fun, fast, exciting, expensive, of course, Ferrari. That's what it's going to be seen as. So, it's never, no matter how hard they try, the public is never going to see Ferrari as a GT car maker. They're never going to see their cars as GT cars. So that's why if you use it on a grand tour, people will just be like, what are you doing? You're going to ruin it, Don't rack up the miles on it, keep the miles down for resale value. All that sort of thing. And even if the car's made for that, no one's going to see it that way, and oh dear. And that's the problem. Brand image can make or break a brand. Or the cars that they make, even. So even if some people think, even if some car guys think this is a GT car, it isn't. It's not just brand image, it's how they made it. It may be too many accidents, it may be comfortable and fast and all that like a GT car, and you may be able to cruise in it, but I bet you within the first 20 miles, you're just going to want to go flat out in it. Because a GT car is supposed to be calm and, a nice long-distance cruiser when you want it to be, and a fast, exotic, and frantic car when you want it to be. And this, it's frantic all the time. I'm never going to get that corner right, am I? But that's the issue with it, and I'm just going to learn why, get the corner right. But that's the thing. You can't cruise in this thing. It's too exciting. It gives you too much adrenaline. And frankly, this would actually be a pretty good race car to use online. It's not the highest car in A class, but give it a few upgrades and I don't know, it might be better than you think. But anyway, back to brand image. That's the thing. Even though the Ferrari California, that's a true GT car. That's a true GT Ferrari. No one's gonna see it that way. They're just gonna see it as another, you know, fast, fun, and exciting Ferrari. And that's just because of its brand image. And that's the problem. No matter how hard Ferrari try to make a GT car, and they have made a few, they really have. No one's gonna see it. No one's gonna see those GT cars that way. They're just gonna see it as another, the next generation of Ferrari, or just another one. And that's the thing. No matter how hard they try, it's never gonna be seen that way. Because just say Aston Martin for a minute, and then think about what that means. Think about it. Okay, now that you've thought about it, the car. What do you think about the cars? What do you think about when you say their name? You think fast, you know, fast, comfortable GT cars. That's what you think about. That's what Aston is good at. But that's because of brand image. Because of how Aston Martin is seen, once you say that name, that's what you think about. That's what you think about when you hear the name Aston Martin. So no matter how hard they try to make a proper sports car, really, the public never sees it that way. In fact, they don't even seem to know how to make a proper sports car. They try so hard to get the recipe right, but every time they just end up with Gordon Ramsay yelling at them for getting it wrong. They just keep ending up with another fast, albeit GT car. That's all they end up with every time. And then Gordon Ramsay has to yell at them for getting it wrong, and they're just like, come on, next car, we're gonna do it. It's gonna push the button, and it doesn't. It's just another better and faster GT Aston. That's all it is, and that's all seemingly they'll ever be able to make, and that's all they're ever gonna be seen for. And it's the same way with Ferrari, except they know how to make a sports car, and they know how to make a GT car. But because of its brand image, no one seems to look at their cars like that. That's what's sad about it. It's just that it's like the public can't get out of their minds that now it's like they can't seem to understand that just because they make this, it's not that they can't make this. Now, some of my friends are going to be saying, well, put it this way. We all know that Aston and Bentley and Rolls-Royce, they're making SUVs. And I've ranted before that just because everyone else is doing it, not saying that they're going to be able to do it any better. And, because my problem with it was they've never made an SUV before. So, the fact that they think they'll be able to make a good one is really rather hard to believe. And I know what I just said is that just because they make this doesn't mean they can't make this. And I agree with that. But my thing is, no one said that they'll be able to do it well. That's the key word in that sentence. Or the key sentence of words in that sentence. No one said they'll be able to do it well. Able to do it well is the key sentence within that sentence. Just because they're doing it doesn't mean they'll be able to do it, well enough to, go against the likes of, Range Rover, Jeep, all the big ones. No one said that. Hell, even Mercedes has a few good off-road cars. And that's my point. They can, I've gotten out of my mind that they can make other cars than just sports cars and whatnot, or luxury cars in Rolls-Royce case, or Bentleys, But no one said they'd be able to do it well. No one said it'd be a good car once it's finished. No matter how much technology there is these days, no matter how many times they say it's gonna be good, that could just be to them. And Lotus is doing it now. Even Lotus is doing it. And that's my issue. Just because they're doing it, no one said they'd be able to do it well. And that's why I find it so incredibly hard for me to believe that it's going to be a good SUV. I'm not saying it isn't going to be. You know, it could be. But, like Richard Hammond said, when he was driving the Mistretta, first time, you know, first time tries are never perfect. They never are. And it's the same with these SUVs. They're not going to be perfect. They may be good, but they're not going to be perfect. Sorry if I got a bit off topic, but let's get back on topic here. Like I was saying, even if Ferrari, even though Ferrari has made quite a few good, that was my bad, a few good GT cars, no one's going to see it that way. And I think we should applaud those cars who are trying to break, modern stereotyping conception about brands. We should, and some of those are really underrated vehicles. They really are, and we should give them a round of applause. We should celebrate those cars that are trying to make a difference, that are really trying to show that stereotype means nothing. Stereotype is weak. Cars like the Viper, they're trying their very hard. Well, it's trying its very hardest to show Americans can make good cars that will rival the very best of the Europeans. I kind of let it split out on purpose. And genuinely, I did. I'm not making excuses. And it's faster than pretty much every Aston Martin that's currently made. Including the V12 Vantage S. It's about as light as that. It has more power than a Ferrari 458. It's lighter than a Ferrari F12. And it's lighter than pretty much every Aston Martin. Maybe except for the 177. I'm not too sure about that one, but still. And people keep hating on it. And the Viper's probably the only one out of that whole lot that has a 50-50 weight distribution. That's right, I said it. Like a Mazda Miata, it has a 50-50 weight distribution. Does the Corvette have that? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. At least not the earlier ones. Perfect 50-50 weight distribution like a BMW, and people hate on it. Only manual transmission, and car guys hate on it. But you know what I say to that? Learn what a good car is. Understand what truly makes a good car aside from its brand. Just because it's made by a certain brand doesn't mean that they can't make good cars every now and then. That means nothing. It really does. It means nothing. We should give these cars a round of applause for trying to break their brand's image, the brand's stereotype, all that. We should be celebrating these vehicles for making a difference in the automotive world. It's like the presidency. There are the independents who are trying to run, or, well, whatever it is. Okay? The independents. We should be celebrating those. We should be helping those because they're independent. They're going to try and make a difference, rather than the people who have just been running or been in Congress for 5 million years. We should be celebrating the independents. But because of brand image and how automotive stereotypes are, no matter how hard they try, whether they seem to know how to do it or not, no matter how hard they try, it's because of how people see it. What do I think of this car? On a scale of 0 to 10, or 1 to 10, however you want to say it, I give it a 7. It's a good car. It's trying to break the boundaries. It's a sports car that can be used on long journeys. Not saying you would, or saying that you would be able to because you'd just be hooked up on just going fast all the time. Because Ferrari. But still. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and like for more for some rants and stuff. And if you enjoyed this video, if I already said it, never mind then. Anyway guys, I will see you all later.